Welcome to Wellington's Y Zone, a podcast dedicated to create weekly sports conversations via constant sports up for content and game for the community and the world. Real quick, gotta have your mic. Gots to have your mic. I'm your host, Wellington Burns, back with another episode, brand new. It has been a long time since I have been recording podcasts, doing any of those things. So it's been a long break, been on hiatus for a bit, just trying to get back into the swing of things, take a reset, just start over, not start over, but just take some time away for a bit and just get things right and really get back on the right track. So much has happened since I've last recorded an episode. The Knicks won the finals. My goodness, beat the Spurs. My Spurs prediction kaput. None of that was right. Also, LeBron is a Sixer. Can we give it up for the Sixers trusting the process? Because to me, first off, I got to start with that, and make sure you follow Wellington's Y Zone on YouTube, on Instagram, personal page Wellington Burns for Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, my main hub right there. But um, but yeah, like let's start with LeBron and the Sixers because to me that is the biggest headline out of anything. And the biggest part to me that stands out in it is the fact that this was a 2-year, 8 million deal, and LeBron is not worried about the money. He is just concerned about actually being in a position where he can still win a title. That's what he cares about. It's nothing about, oh, like, let's get the biggest deal because he's not going to get it at the age that he's at, but he still can average 25 points. It is really more so about, man, can I have a position where I can still compete? I still have a chance to win a title. And I'm in a position where I can be at the top skill. That matters a lot, especially when you think about the type of player that LeBron is and, where he's trying to go, how he's trying to develop in his closing years. He wants to put a stamp on it. So many times, the process, I even talked about it on the old podcast about just like how the process was just like process loading. Like, is the process like finally done now? Is it fine? Are we finally at that point where the process is done? And, with Maxi and Jalen Brown, like Jalen Brown, he's going to the Celtics, he's going to the Sixers. Like when that was first announced, I think that was the craziest string of events because it showed just how much was going to change. It showed that the offseason was going to be unlike any other offseason we had seen in a while. Like he goes to the Sixers, the Celtics rival. Paul George goes to Boston. Giannis goes to Miami. Um, Obviously LeBron's in Philly. And we're having this like Tyrese Halliburton is coming back for Indiana. We're having this string of events where, if we really think about it, the East is stacked. The East is stacked. It is such a stacked conference now. We have to look at it very differently. And this happens like it's cyclical, right? The NBA is very cyclical. At some points, you're going to have the East be the top conference, and then other times the West will be the top conference. But it's a very cyclical sport and league. So when those things happen, look, you were in a position where that can develop, that can play um a major factor, and this is where you're at now. So I love the move from a basketball perspective. I thought it was the best basketball perspective and I mean basketball fit. So Philly, LeBron, trust the process. It's going to be really very entertaining. Um, and I personally think one of the best moves that even happened on the over the off season was in fact Jaylen Brown going to Philly. Like I think that perked LeBron's attention to like, okay, Philly is actually making adequate moves. They're making significant moves. And this is one of those situations where when you have that, it got the King's attention. It got his attention. And just like how he was able to um, sail away, the Lakers just got sold. They have been sold to venture capitalists Josh Kushner and former Disney CEO Bob Iger for a record-breaking 12.5 billion valuation. The 72-hour deal marks the shortest controlling ownership tenure in modern NBA history. So many interesting things to take away from with this is sometimes like the succession rule that I call with one of my favorite shows, Succession off of HBO Max. You had a family in the Roys who were just cutthroat, right? Um, had all of these just big, ambitious goals and were very power hungry, but the kids could not take over what the dad had started. Like none of them was like really like competent to do it. And when you look at it, it's just like, okay, can they actually be the ones who do it? You know, can they actually be the ones who gets to that point? Because if not, we're stuck in limbo. We're stuck in limbo, and there is no like line of sight to actually move things forward. So for me personally, I would say that it's a shocking turn of events, for sure. I think the Buss family over time, and RIP to Jerry Buss, but over time, the kids just could not get a substantial run of control, of power to actually make competent business decisions. So when you can't make competent business decisions, it is going to be a major struggle, a major just battle to get to and to overcome. So I really think that this move was very stunning, but also I would say a sign of the times for the Lakers front office and the fact that yeah they are in a they're in a battle. They're in a battle for competency to actually get back to where they were and to what they were doing. It's definitely going to be something that we're going to see. Can they get over? Can they get over the hump of just like not being good business decision wise? So very interesting development there. Next up, I wanted to get to what I wasn't able to cover when I was on my hiatus is the Knicks and what they were able to do. The Knicks winning the NBA Finals. Um, I can't say enough about that because like it really is up to you, New York. Cue the Frank Sinatra music. It's up to you, New York, and I think like them being able to do that, um, yeah, like I believe when Rich Paul said if New York didn't win the title, that's where LeBron was going to go. Because now the Philly thing makes it seem more like that. It really makes it seem more like, oh, like yeah, that would have happened. That really would have happened if Philly, if the Knicks had not won the title. So shout out to Jalen Brunson, absolute dog. Um, even 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 Josh Hart. I'm sorry, guys. Josh Hart. That I don't know why his name just passed my mind there. But Josh Hart, um, you know, his complete play, Ananobi, what he was doing. All of these guys were just we're just completely in a bit of a run, and all the pieces align very much so. So I absolutely love the fact that the Knicks were able to do what they were able to do, win their title, and get back to being the mecca of basketball feel. There's such a feel of New York and basketball. They're the mecca, right? They have ways of just making it seem like this is where basketball started, and it did. So shout out to them. I want to tip my cap. I had to mention that in my time away. I had to get back to talking about that. And I know the comments are still going crazy about Spurs and six, Spurs and six, skip, 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 mid, 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 skip, skip. Oh my goodness, that happened to me. I remember that day actually when I recorded that video. I took a nap and I woke up and I was like, I need to do a video. And so I did my routine, beard oil, make sure the hairline was on point. Everything was brush, waves, and I just said Spurs and six. Spurs and six. One of the worst picks I had, but I had to say it. I definitely had to say it. Um, and so I would um I would definitely say for the Spurs, Wembanyama, he's going to be a threat. He's going to be a force. It's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Um, Another team in the West, the Warriors, get DeRozan, but they haven't done anything to help Steph significantly. Jimmy Butler, he's going to be back, but they haven't done anything to help Steph significantly. Like that's the issue. Like Steph needs significant, adequate help. Um, and if he doesn't get it, then what's going to happen? What's going to happen with a Steph, a closing Steph career where I possibly think he might actually be, for one, wasting significant years of the latter half of his career, and two, it might just be one of those things where, man, like, um, this isn't what I need. But I think he wants to be there. I think he wants to stay with Golden State. He wants to stay there. So I would definitely say that um, the Warriors should have done better in the offseason, should have done better front wise, front office wise, but it just was not able to work out that way. Another thing I wanted to get to was want to make sure I got covered all my bases. The World Cup, my thoughts on the World Cup, and I thought this World Cup was just flat out phenomenal. I thought it was very competitive, um, and it was just one of those runs where we're able to see so many different so many different people in the world like actually enjoy watching soccer again. And I think this was like such a good run. Like you got Messi, you got Ronaldo in his last World Cup. You got Mbappe doing what Mbappe does. Got Harry Kane. All of these really, really dope players. And Spain was able to win it. Able to beat Argentina. And yeah, hats off to them. Hats off to Spain for doing what they did. And I thought it was very, very dope um, to see it closed out that way. Even though I think Messi is one of the greatest ever. Obviously, we know what Messi can do. Just didn't happen that way. I got the Brazil jersey on, little Brazil teams. Womp womp womp. I gotta add in that for for me trying to do an accent, which I do not need to do. But before we go into break, I do want to say Russell Westbrook called it a career. Called it a career. It's done. Retirement is for him now, and we know what Russell Westbrook is all about. Believe 9-time All Star, you know, MVP in 2017. Has just done so many like is one of the most athletic point guards you will find in the history of the league. One of the most athletic point guards, and it's just great at what he does. Ferocious defender, so gifted. Um, Agility, fluidity, all of those things he's able to do so well. And I think him closing out his career, he had multiple stints with Houston, OKC, the Lakers, um, and it just wasn't able to work out with him getting a title, which I thought I would at least have liked to have seen him be with one team, one more team to get a shot, but it just wasn't able to work that way. So um, those are my thoughts on some basketball and some World Cup um, early early takeaways from this past summer. But I'm going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with some preseason football and some college football talk.